A day in the life of a fountain pen collector. No, it is not easy being a collector of fountain pens. Sooner or later, one outgrows the fascination of walking into a brick-and-mortar store, or going online to buy the shiny new pens, and then the travails begin. Even if one were to discount the mental exertion of living and breathing pens, the act of scouting for, acquiring, identifying, and maintaining these works of art that are a throwback on times past is, shall we say, painstaking? I don't know about the others, but this is what a typical day in my life looks like. Pick up the pen and chart the day. The first thing that I do in the morning is pick up a fountain pen to write down the things that is proposed to accomplish during the day. Not that I end up achieving all that I write, with most of the tasks getting carried over to the next day, but the very pleasure of beginning the lost in thought with a pen in hand is pleasure incarnate. Check out the latest acquisition. I also reserve the early morning to go through my latest acquisitions. I somehow believe that a fresh mind is most receptive to enjoying the craftsmanship and elan of the old pens that I crave. The cool morning, before the rat race engulfs the world around me, helps me concentrate better. They also allow me to take a step back in time, to try and relive the times that the pen in the hand is representative of. Travel plans for the next pen show. Pen shows are undoubtedly a big thing in the life of any serious collector, and I am no exception. And believe you me, the argument that we constantly have with ourselves is whether to scratch the bottom of the barrel, no pun intended, to visit a show, or use the money to acquire another pen. But planning to visit one takes time, and networking and full dedication. Let us not even get into the travails of organizing one. Answer queries or talk to new converts. When one has spent a few decades nurturing the hobby, one must also bear the responsibility of being a guide to young converts. Eager as they are, they have inkwell full of questions, and one must answer them to the best of one's knowledge and abilities. It takes time, but it is a sheer delight. For one, the enthusiasm that is displayed is infectious, and two, because so often, these conversations end up enlightening one. And fountain pen trivia is what we thrive on. Visit the friendly neighborhood pen shop. We all have the friendly neighborhood fountain pen shop, don't we? The one place where we can spend hours at an end rummaging through everything? Who knows, the Grail pen may just be bundled carelessly in some unforgotten cupboard. Besides, we are all crestfallen by the thought of the one that got away, perhaps picked up by a fellow collector before we could make the pilgrimage. And yes, this also includes clicking through the websites of our choice, looking for gems. The joy of finding a rare pen. And then there is the joy of finding a rare pen. One that warms the cockles of one's heart. I am listing this one separately, as many in our circle of family and friends have been the hapless targets who have been bored silly as we have recounted our adventures leading to these acquisitions. Clean old pens. The afternoons are mostly spent mending, cleaning, and polishing old pens. The hobby is not merely about hoarding. In fact, it is more about caring, and therefore needs a huge amount of time and attention to maintain the collection in a pristine condition, enough to fill the heart with pride. And no, my collection is not meant to induce envy in others. They are mine and mine alone to swoon over. Doodle or jot down stray thoughts. And this I do throughout the day. I doodle and sketch and write down the stray thoughts that cross my mind. And yes, I always carry a fountain pen and a notebook. No, I do not scroll through my phone. I write instead. And often, when my mind goes totally blank, I revisit my notebook for inspiration. Sometimes they throw up real gems. At the least, they bring the smiles back. Meeting with dealers and fellow pilgrims. Meeting fellow collectors is another important part of the journey called collecting. They are often an invaluable source of information, apart from being like-minded individuals who mostly help overcome the ennui, leading one to have good times well spent. I will also include the dealers in this segment, as oftentimes these wise men come bearing gifts, treasures from the past that go to enrich the collection and the sense of accomplishment. More meetings. I am associated with various initiatives to popularize the fountain pen and inks. I visit educational institutions regularly and give talks that introduce the art of handwriting to the young. I also have to talk to the media to answer their queries about the advantages of using fountain pens and how they offer the most sustainable writing option. Often, manufacturers zero both from India and abroad want my opinion about new launches, which too takes some time. Research, discuss with other collectors. Now comes the most important part of the day, when I immerse myself in studying about pens, inks, paper, and other desk accessories. I firmly believe that it is the accompanying story, the narrative, that is woven around a pen or a bottle of ink that creates its enigma, adding to its value. A fountain pen to me is no mere instrument, it is a tale from a time past. It is a tale of triumph of men, who using the tools of the day and with the help of the technology available then, had created the masterpiece. It is also a tale of the people who had generated the demand that had led to the creation of the particular piece. Perhaps even the tale of the one particular individual, or a group of them, who had been the proud owner and user of the piece that I hold in my hand now. Trust me, it is fascinating to put things mildly. Create videos or write blogs. And then I have to create the content for my blog on fountain pens and this YouTube channel. The blog was easier as I was writing it and clicking the pictures by myself. Videos are a different ballgame altogether as I need outside help with both the shooting and the editing. As resources are a constraint, I must confess, I often have to compromise on the quality, however much I may hate myself for it. And I guess, this will be an opportunity to seek your pardon, to express my sincere apologies for the shortcomings that I am unable to overcome. Please forgive me. Dream pens. And then finally time to doze off. What do I do when I sleep? I dream fountain pens, and inks, and paper and accessories. I dream of visiting a washi factory in Japan, of seeing an urushi pen being crafted by a master, watching as a bystander the founders of Mont Blanc discuss new launches, looking at Gandhiji wielding his pen, the Freedom at Midnight speech being written.